Welcome back to the Boot Tragedies. All right, long overdue. Training camp's underway. Everything's flying off the board. Saints are making a lot of moves. I'm here to bring, update most people on what I think's going on, what's kind of happening. Like I said last time, I've been moving. I'm finally moved in, finally settled in, finally ready to get this content back out to you guys. So long overdue. Let's just jump right into it. Obviously, the cornerback position has been going crazy these last couple of days. Signed Brian Poole. Also signed Cavarier Russell. I think I'm pronouncing that name right. And Prince Amukamara. Two cornerbacks, two hard names to pronounce. My thoughts on that, it's kind of a little suspect. After a couple days of practice and training camp, they decided to go out and sign two corners. That's obviously telling me that the corners, aren't stepping up. Sean Payton did say it was a position of need. So they brought two guys in to compete right away, and I like that. Don't wait until week 1, week 2. I'm like, oh, these guys aren't, getting it done. If you see it early, nip it in the bud. Bring some guys in to compete. I also think this has to do with P.J. Williams went on a non-football injury list. If I had to guess, I'm assuming it's something COVID related. I didn't, see anything on that, but that's probably why we signed two guys instead of one. But hey, man, it's a 90-man roster right now. Everyone's there to compete, so hey, may the best man win at every position. So I'm just glad they're bringing in competition and not just sticking with the guys, that we have, because no Saints fan wants to roll out week 1 with P.J. Williams and Ken Crawley, starting our secondary. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm not being mean to those guys, but man, we've seen that way too often, and we're past that point. We're past that point. If we really want to get over that hump, we can't just keep bringing in old guys. But speaking of old guys, we also brought in another old guy, a fan favorite. I hand quotations if you could see me. Tommy Lee Lewis, welcome back. Every time the Saints seem they need a receiver, Tommy Lee Lewis name always just happens to come up. I don't know if this man's living like next door to training camp or what, but he's always in the picture. Every time we need a receiver and things like that. Him signing, that doesn't really, tell me much. Obviously, Michael Thomas out. They brought in Chris Hogan as well a little while back. So it's just a couple slot guys probably competing. And Deontay Harris is more than likely going to miss, the beginning of the year because of that DUI or whatever and things like that. So Tommy Lee Lewis is like the other version of Deontay. Obviously, Harris is better at his job. But, bringing good old Tommy Lee Lewis back. Also, signing of Devonta Freeman, which I think is, I want to say huge, but I think that's a little exaggeration, but it's pretty big in my opinion, because I think, I have no knowledge of this, but I think I went to a practice. Kamara was lined up at receiver, a little bit more than I'm used to seeing of like past training camps I've been to and things like that. Maybe he's going to play a little more receiver while MT's out, play a little slot, match him up on linebackers and things like that. Obviously, Kamara's, that's definitely in his wheelhouse. He can do that if you ask him to. And so maybe Murray's going to be getting a lot of more touches, and maybe Devontae's going to kind of be Murray's backup. And I can see that, Freeman may actually have a role with this team if a Kamara's playing a lot of slot. So we'll see how that goes. I'm not opposed to that, honestly. I would love Kamara just running the ball and being a running back, but the team needs receivers. He's probably the best receiver on the team. Now that MT's out, no disrespect to Callaway and Smith, but obviously Kamara's showing what he can do when he's lined up wide and things like that. So we'll see how that plays out. But I do think he's going to get a lot of more reps at wide receiver this year. He's not going to be running the full route tree, but I'm sure they're going to get him in a slot, trying to get some mismatches and things like that. And man, that's just a quick little rundown of what's been going on in training camp and signings and things like that. I'll have some more videos coming out very, very soon. Bear with me, NFL sites down with the videos and things like that. I wish I can get some game breakdown of these corners we signed and this running back we signed and blah blah blah. But until then, we'll just be chatting it up, and I'll try to respond to everyone in the comments. I appreciate y'all for tuning in to Boot Tragedies, and I'm out.